How's everybody doing today, guys? Survivor Series is finally here. We have the whole panel together one more time. Jean Paul, Egg, Ryan, right there. See? Brotherhood after all. We have previews and predictions for Survivor Series, and we're not going to spend any time. We're going to roll it right away, right now. Ryan, how you doing? First match.
Excellent. We're going to start off right away, going right into it. NXT Cruiserweight Championship, Lio Rush taking on Angel Garza. Ek, take us away.
Well, if you watched our previews and predictions from War Games, I'm saying Angel Garza is going to win this because I think he's going to, ride the momentum, everything he's done in the breakout tournament, his matches on NXT. He didn't lose to Lio Rush clean. He had his, the rope was hooked with his foot or is underneath the rope, or I know it was something. I don't know if he actually had his foot over the rope, but he definitely didn't lose clean.
He had the foot over the rope, right?
Yeah.
So it should have been a rope break.
Yeah.
So,
rope break.
That's no pun intended, but it should have been right there.
But, so to me, he's so hot. Like, you got to give him the title because everybody's behind him, and you can even build a feud with Lio Rush and. Heck, maybe even put Lio Rush in a match with a guy like Finn Balor, even though we kind of saw that with him and Bobby Lashley. That was like the Dollar General knockoff version. Now we're seeing the real legit Lio Rush and Finn Balor, so that would be a match. Lio Rush versus The Dream when he comes back. Lio Rush versus, there's so many people that you could do with him. He doesn't need the Cruiserweight Championship to be, featured on the show, but... so that's why I think, he's going to lose, and I'm going with Angel Garza.
I actually going to counterattack that. I want to say I love Angel Garza. To me, he's such a great wrestler, but it's not his time yet. And that's my only thing. It's not his time yet. He'll have a moment in the sun, but not right now. You just gave the title to Lio Rush. Lio Rush is hot. He's a great wrestler. I do acknowledge what you say, that like he could be fine without the Cruiserweight Championship, but I feel you need to give it like a little bit more legitimacy to this title because now it's called NXT Cruiserweight. So you need to just let the thing burn, let the thing like get ready for Angel Garza. So I want to see this feud actually extended. Have like a few more months, for example, Angel Garza and Lio Rush at the Royal Rumble, and then you have the title switch right there. The match is going to be outstanding because both guys are absolutely phenomenal in the ring. And of course, if they do, hopefully they don't do this for the pre-show. Please do not have this on the pre-show. Have another type of match. Don't even have a match. You shouldn't even have a pre-show.
But that's the thing. The pre-show only exists, and I'm sure Ryan's going to agree with this, because they have to put so many freaking matches and so many pointless people on the show. They're like, man, we can't fit all these guys in a 3-hour pay-per-view, and they already hate how our pay-per-views are like 9 hours long. So I guess we'll create a pre-show.
It's ridiculous.
And instead of putting the people on the pre-show, like the Dana Brooks and all them who we don't care about, they're like, we'll put Shinsuke Nakamura on the pre-show, or we'll put the Cruiserweights on the pre-show, because nobody cares about them.
But see, that to me is wasting their talent, wasting like these opportunities to have really memorable matches. Especially now that like you're going with AEW, that these guys know how to feature like smaller guys. So to say, is like, for example, Darby Allin. He did a hell of a job with Jon Moxley for the main event on Dynamite. So,
and he's over as hell.
He's over as hell.
That's what I mean. It don't matter.
Like he's a young version of Jeff Hardy for me, with like the face paint and being good in the ring and all of that.
To me, it's more, you can be over, I feel, more if you're smaller like that, because you look more realistic. Like, you look, people watching in the crowds, like, hey, like, I could do that. Like, he's not like a muscle head. He's not like lifting 800 pounds. So like you can attach yourself more. That's how Daniel Bryan got so over.
Oh yeah.
Daniel Bryan, he's like one of us. He's smaller. He's not 6'6". He's not, 340 pounds of pure muscle. He's a smaller guy. And that's why I think
got over in ECW.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how I know you're a big fan of Mikey. So
exactly.
Brian, Angel Garza and Lio Rush.
I'm gonna go with Lio as well. I think that right now, since the now it's the NXT Cruiserweight Championship, and it's just been moved there. I think it needs to be established a little bit more, be on a champion, and solidified a little bit more before you take the belt off somebody. So to me,
I agree with that 100%.
So to me, I'm going to say Lio Rush right now. Keeps it, retains it, and Garza will have his time.
Yeah, Garza is good. Garza is good. So he'll definitely have all time in the sun.
The only last thing I will say is about it, I feel like if Garza loses, and again, it's the same thing I said with Scott, with his match against Angel Garza. I just hope if you put a guy in this match who's so hot and so popular that he doesn't just lose and then it's like he kind of falls down the ladder or like the power rankings. Like I hope they still just continue to do something with him. And so that's why I kind of picked him, just because I don't want to see him, get screwed over.
What I do think it will happen is it's going to be a controversial finish again. It's going to be, like a messed up finish once again. Lio
now,
Rush
if they do something like that and continue to feud,
we know Lio Rush is
fine.
not a face. Lio Rush is not a baby face. So he can use any tactics to win and to keep his championship. Absolutely. So moving along, Ryan, what do we have? This should, I guess it will call the main show.
Well, no. It's all we're gonna say. It's all the main show until they tell us otherwise. Because I want to keep hope alive that this is on the main show.
That this is on the main show. So anyway, Ryan.
Well, let's throw this out there. According to Road Dogg, there is no pre-show. It's always the main show. So.
Oh yeah. And that one I will say, that comment by Road Dogg. I know I love him. I enjoy his IC champ reign, but that one he did wrong. He did wrong because I enjoy it. Ryan hates me for that, for being a fan of the Road Dogg, but it's fine. I'll take the blame. So, Jesse James, we love the jobs and we love the need that you always did. So, anyway.
All right. Next one, NXT Championship, Adam Cole versus to be announced. Killian Dane, Damian Priest, and Pete Dunne.
All right, well, I guess I'll start it out. To me, I predicted that it was going to be Pete Dunne, so it's going to be Adam Cole against Pete Dunne. They're just going to have a phenomenal match. They're going to go all it, like 100%. It's going to be really contested. It's going to be a lot of near falls. We're about to have a new NXT champion, but Tommaso Ciampa is going to come out and is going to intervene, and Adam Cole is going to keep that championship. That's my prediction.
So
Adam Cole walks out as the NXT champion, but it's like Ciampa is like, no, you're not winning that championship. I'm the one that is going to take it away from Adam Cole. So that's my prediction. What about you, Ryan?
For me, I went with Damian Priest. I think the two are going to have a pretty good match. And for me, Cole's so hot right now that the belt will absolutely stay on him. Nobody right now is taking the belt off him. And for me, at some point, I'm going to go with Ciampa to be the one to take the belt off him. But at this point, obviously, somewhere down the line, Ciampa will. But
all right, but then John Paul Leek, he also picked Damian Priest.
Yeah, I'm pretty much going with what Ryan said. I feel like this match is going to do for Damian Priest. He was over. He's been on NXT, but now we're going to see him. Saw him at a War Games, and then, if my prediction's true, and along with Ryan's, if he wins at War Games and then he's here at Survivor Series, I feel this will be a match to really showcase him to everybody. So, but he'll still lose. So this will be kind of like what they did, with Jordan Miles when he won the tournament, and then they had a showcase with him. Obviously, this isn't your time to win. But it's one of those things. It's one of those things where, we're going to showcase you. You're going to look good. You're going to get a bunch of near falls on Cole. It's going to be close, but at the end of the day, last shot, done.
And done. Yeah, I could see that happening, but
and also, Undisputed Era could come out and they could fuck with him, and it could be a screwy finish.
Oh yeah, it can actually happen like that.
You could have it where he looks strong, and they could maybe injure him, or do whatever.
Yeah,
there's a lot of possibilities.
A ton of options, yes. Okay, moving along, Ryan.
All right. This one, to me, is going to be a clusterfuck. We have the Women's Survivor Series elimination match. Team Raw, Charlotte Flair, Natalya, the Kabuki Warriors, and Sarah Logan versus Team SmackDown, Sasha Banks, Carmella, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans, and Nikki Cross versus Team NXT, Rhea Ripley, and 4 to be announced.
Well, we know the 4 is going to be Tegan Knox. We know is Mia Yim. We know Toni Storm and Candice LeRae.
All right.
Or the ones,
Yeah, so it's all Rhea Ripley's team from War Games and then Toni Storm.
Which is good because I love Toni Storm and I still think that like she shouldn't be added to the War Games match. Yeah. So, well, it starts off, Ryan. Clusterfuck. Who gets the win?
Out of all of this, you know what? I'm going with Team NXT here for the women, just because for me, no women's division is better than NXT. And I'm sorry, if you don't give them the win, I think that you're kind of shitting on the product now. For me, I think you have to go with them. They're so much better than everybody else right now. You can give somebody else the win. You know, I mean, I know you have your golden child in Charlotte leading Team Raw, you know, shit like that. But to me, in the end, no division for the women's division is better than NXT right now. So I think NXT should have the win.
John Paul Eck.
I think NXT is going to win as well, just because I feel that maybe the story of the match, you know, Raw and SmackDown, at least in the women last night, they only really seemed to call out each other. They didn't really call out NXT. They were like, you know, NXT was almost like an afterthought. And I think that's going to be a lot of these matches where like the NXT person is the afterthought. And also this match, like he said, is going to be a clusterfuck. Do we care about half the women in these matches, at least for the main roster side? No. You know, who do we care about on Raw? At least personally, I'm a fan of Asuka. And like you said, Juan, you know, it's good to see Sarah Logan, you know, again. So, like, it's cool to see her, but are we invested in her? No, not really. Is she a great wrestler? No, not really. She's getting better, but she's not there yet. So she's going to be a jobber. Unfortunately, they're probably going to job out Kairi Sane. They're kind of trying to push Natalya, but we don't care. On SmackDown, Carmella, we don't care. Nikki Cross, you know, we like her personally, but they're not really doing much with her. So there's a lot of Dana Brooke, a lot of women in this match that are just going to be there to make, hopefully, the NXT women look good. You know, Charlotte's going to get her eliminations. She's probably going to eliminate Candice LeRae in 4 minutes, unfortunately. Tegan Nox is probably going to do a job to someone. There's really only going to be one or two winners from this match. And hopefully Rhea Ripley and Toni Storm have, you know, a good performance, because I feel like that's where WWE is putting a lot of their stock, at least for the NXT women. But I agree with Ryan. That's who I think is going to win NXT.
And not to get off. Oh,
go finish the talk.
I don't want to get off topic, but I wanted to get your guys' reaction to the rumblings of Kairi Sane thinking of leaving the company.
Oh, Jean Paul Egg just told me that not too long ago.
I mean, obviously, I don't want to see her go, but like at the same time, if she thinks, you know, her WWE run is bullshit, which it's been mostly just this new, you know, thing with Asuka, it has been good, but like, what's the long term? Where are they going with it, and all that? But I mean, if she wants to go, I would rather see her go to Japan, because I feel if she goes to AEW, she's not going to step in and be like, oh, I'm better than Riho and use me because there's political pull. Like, they're not going to replace Riho with her.
Yeah.
And that women's division, I feel, even if you add her, they're just not, they have talent there. They're just not telling stories. They're not building the division. So adding more talent to AEW, I'm just going to come out and say it will soon reach the point where it's WWE and there's too many people and not enough story to tell.
Because you're gonna have time to tell the stories.
You're gonna have guys that are gonna be unhappy. You know, they have all these women, but we're only seeing them on AEW Dark, or not even that. So it's like, is she gonna go there? I would rather see her go to Japan or someplace where they're probably going to use her, because she'll be a welcome back face. You know, they're all familiar with her over there more so than here. So that's what I think. But I mean, hopefully she stays with the company though. With WWE.
You, Ryan, your thoughts on that?
For me, I'm with Eck here. I kind of do want her to leave, because I feel as though her run has been very bullshit. Because I see her as a singles competitor, and I see Asuka as a singles competitor. And they're not using them to their full potential right now. So to me, I would like to see her go back, and I agree, go back to New Japan, where she would be, I think, welcome back with open arms, and at least there she'd be treated, with respect, and she'd get a proper run instead of what she's gotten here in WWE, which is absolute trash.
Yeah, I will go along with both of you. I mean, if you're not being portrayed or if you're not given opportunities according to your talent, then you shouldn't stay in any company. If
No.
you're being overshadowed constantly or given storylines that don't really make sense with what you're really capable of doing, then you should just leave. Consider your options, maybe be closer to home because she's from Japan, maybe she wants to be closer to her family, who knows. So if she does that, I'm the one that is actually loving. If she leaves WWE, she should go to AEW because that will be a really good school contest. Because Kyrie will be from a different school from these like Riho, like the Roshi, I think is the term that they use. Yoshitatsu, a good wrestler from the ECW 09. The Yoshi girl, they will be two types of schools going at each other. So you could tell the story right there.
I'm just going to call it how I see it. I think AEW is a little bit political like any other company, and I don't think they're going to bring her, like I said, I don't think they're going to allow her to come in and just be like, look at me, I'm legit, and be the number one. I think they're going to be, no, we're going to have our number one be who we want to be, and I think that's Riho, because it's, there's some political stuff.
I'm just saying for me, fantasy booking, how
Yeah.
let's do that. For example, like, wouldn't you guys be more interested in, like, hey, a clash of, like, two schools? The Yoshitatsu or the Yoshi girls against, like the strong style in Kairi Sane. And we got two women for Japan. And of course, then I think Riho will look really bad, though. Because the feather
that's what I mean.
and everything.
They don't,
against,
I don't
like,
think,
the fist.
I don't think they want to do that because Hikaru Shida, I mean, her freaking knee she delivers and all that, and her elbows and all that is devastating. So they already have a strong striker. But anyway, before we get too much off topic.
Yeah, let's move on. Move on. Yeah, anyway, let's go back to... Oh, yeah, well, I didn't pick my winner for the...
Yeah. Who's your winner?
I will say, for 2 years in a row, I won't say even 3 years in a row, Raw has been winning in this type of match. Like, the women, always the Raw women were the ones swiping it off. And for me, I just want to say that, like, I'm going to put an upset here, and SmackDown's going to win it.
Okay.
Because you haven't given SmackDown any type of power. Remember last year, guys, SmackDown completely lost every single match in the Survivor Series, so you got to give something to these guys, mainly because also the show is being broadcasted on Fox. So do you think as, like, Fox executives, oh yeah, like, our show is always going to look bad?
Yeah, but
programming and then watch SmackDown is the greatest show in the world. Oh yeah, like, so you're not gonna be happy as an executive. Like, yeah, my show keeps losing all the time, so you gotta keep some a few slices of the bread for them. So
I agree with that logic, but I think that's gonna happen in other matches, not this one. But I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, to me, I think that's gonna and Nikki and Sasha Banks are gonna be the two girls there. Moving along, Mr. Weber.
All right, we have the Men's Survivor Series elimination match. Team Raw, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, and Ricochet versus Team SmackDown, Roman Reigns, King Corbin, good lord, Ali, Shorty Gable, and Braun Strowman versus Team NXT.
Yeah, and the NXT members, we don't even know who they are.
Nope.
Yeah.
There you go. Just start as Jean Paul.
It all depends who Team NXT is, how legit this match is going to be. I feel like it's going to be, to me, if you're going to put your best guys and you want to say who is going to be Team NXT, you got to put, I think, Matt Riddle, Dominic Dijakovic, Keith Lee, and this is where, I mean, I don't know what you do, but I feel like in this match, I almost want to pick NXT as well in this match because I think Kevin Owens is on Team Raw. Maybe it's him and Rollins, and you got one other guy on NXT, and SmackDown's gone, and I think he turns on Rollins, hits him with a stunner, and then he joins NXT. So that's going to be my prediction.
It might be. I want to tell you, my members of the Team NXT are going to be Ciampa. It's going to be Keith Lee. It's going to be Matt Riddle. and it's going to be Dijakovic, and maybe just one more guy, one more face.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty much they're going to play out with the same kind of team that they did at War Games. It can be a returning Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
One thing I would like to see, except it wouldn't make sense storyline wise, especially if you put Matt Riddle, I would love to see Finn Balor come back and then not, like ham it up to the crowd like he would when he was on the main roster. Just come out and, just beat up these main roster guys. Like that would be cool to be like, look at me now. You know what I mean? Even though nothing's really changed, it's just like, it would just be something cool to see.
It will be really cool to see, but like for me, I'm picking in this match particularly, I'm picking the NXT guys. Because how strong they are. How are you not gonna let those guys, win? Especially if you bring Gargano back.
Yeah, and I mostly just want to see Keith Lee Spirit Bomb Braun Strowman.
See, that's what's gonna be like. It's gonna be a great interaction between Strowman and Keith Lee because they already teased it on SmackDown yesterday. So I feel it will be like that. And of course, Team Raw is gonna have a little problems because Ricochet and Randy Orton are kind of like friends in this, but like Randy is gonna turn on Ricochet, and then the SmackDown guys. To me, the SmackDown guys actually get the lower end of the stick because they're not like really really good. I mean, it's Roman Reigns,
and there's a lot of.
They're gonna have a lot of issues with King Corbin and Roman, so that right there, the team is gonna be
there's a lot of dissension.
Yeah, and also like Shorty G, Ali, they're gonna have a nice showing, but we'll see where they go from that. Ryan,
for me, I'm not even gonna pick any members for NXT. I know they'll have a good team, but in the end, for some reason, I have this really suspicious feeling just because so far we've been going like NXT crazy. I have this really weird suspicion because I know Vince and I know how he operates. So
big dog.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to go big dog or because I have this weird feeling about Team Raw
or Clownins.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking more Rollins.
Burn it down, baby.
That's what I think it
Burn it down, baby.
Can you imagine if it goes down to those two? You won't even be able to hear any announcers. It'll just be a boo.
Well, it's going to be CM Punk.
It'll sound like it's a storm.
See, and now that like we opened the Pandora's box or the jar, your thoughts, guys. CM Punk suggested don't ever tweet again. Don't be tweeting anymore. Stay quiet. Don't say anything. So, Ryan, what are your thoughts? I know that like you are a huge fan of Phil Brooks. So how do you feel? Because you haven't really expressed your thoughts about it. And how was like his thoughts about Seth Rollins in this whole thing?
For me, I don't know. It seems like they're all heading for something. I don't know. But in the end, I have my CM Punk poster right here. In the end, I mean, I might lose a lot of respect for the guy if he's actually going to end up wrestling again in WWE after all the shit that he went through and they put him through. He went through a lawsuit with the company. He ended up winning that lawsuit. All that shit. Now he's working for Fox. If he ends up actually coming back to the company and wrestling, I might lose a lot of respect for him, simply because after all the bitching and complaining he did, I don't know. It's going to be... But how he handled himself, microphone-wise, everything, and the talking, Brooks, to me, always does a decent job when it comes to that.
So I feel that there's going to be a lot of CM Punk chants. Place, once they see Rollins and Roman, they're just going to be like, boo, and CM Punk chants. So, Jean-Paul, your thoughts on that? Is he going to come back?
I mean, like tonight, you mean, or just in general?
No, in general. Like, for example, like with this vibe that, like, how he advising Seth Rollins.
I'm not really going to speculate and go into it, but I think anything's possible, but I don't see it being the earliest you would do is, I would say, SummerSlam. I think WrestleMania is even too soon.
It was too soon, yeah.
Because you got all the marks who are claiming, they want WrestleMania match, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus him and AJ Lee, and it's like, why? Play that in fucking 2K20 and leave me alone.
Right?
Yeah,
I don't need to see that in real life. I don't need to see them promoting that every 10 seconds on social media. If he's going to come back, it needs to be legit, and it needs to be a SummerSlam match against Triple H, and that's Triple H's last match because Phil Brooks fucking retires him. Done.
see, that's a good fantasy
Then at
booking.
least he gets his revenge. And I mean, that is more of a WrestleMania match, so I don't know if they want to wait till WrestleMania 2021, but who knows?
At least you would be giving SummerSlam a legit main event. Then.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because it's
yeah.
and at least the match makes sense. He's not coming back and going against Rollins, but I would love to see him against guys like AJ Styles. And there's all these dream matches, Adam Cole, all that stuff. But
that would be good. That would be good. And just to close on this little bit of an intermission, I really appreciate that, the story that Ryan brought, about the guy in the mascot suit, he called that garbage from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
He said that was garbage. So, Ryan, what is your pick then? Raw, SmackDown, or NXT?
I have this sneaking suspicion. I'm going with Raw.
Raw. Okay, Team Raw, clown-ins and all of that. You're right. We know how Vince operates. So, it will be along those lines. So, moving along.
Moving along, we have the men's tag team champions, the Viking Raiders of Raw versus the New Day from SmackDown versus the Undisputed Era.
See, Egg is already doing your signature move because that was.
Because I'm done.
Egg is already heartbroken because he wanted to see the revival against Undisputed Era and the Viking Raiders.
As did I.
Yep. So, they had what a great match they both have, the revival and Undisputed Era. It would have been
as great as that match was, and the 800, 900,000 some people who saw it on live, and then people watched replays and all that stuff. A match of that caliber needed to be, especially adding another great team like the Viking Raiders, and the Viking Raiders add a different aspect because they're huge. They have big, powerful moves versus faster guys like the Undisputed Era and the Revivals kind of in the middle. Now you're replacing it. You got two kind of fast, jumpy around teams. Well, Kofi is, and Big E, he's a big, strong guy, but it's one of those. They took the indie mark match where you have all these, teams that have that really old school independent wrestling, good style, and you need to add the corporate New Day in there. Whether that's because, like I said, Kofi lost he did the job for Lesnar, and this is a consolation prize, or whether this is an FTR because they're not signing new deals, whatever it is. To me, this match lost a lot of steam because this was supposed to be the show stealer, in my opinion. I don't think so anymore. I'm going with the Viking Raiders because you got to keep their momentum going. If the New Day wins, that will. Depending on when this match is during the show, that will kill it for me.
Then you're going to shut it down.
I mean, I'll keep watching because I still love wrestling and there's still a lot of matches I want to see on the show. But I mean, just emotionally, I'll be pissed off. That'll kill the mood for me if the New Day would win. And it's not. I'm nothing against the New Day, but just it didn't make sense. Why did they get a title opportunity? For what reason? And why? If it made sense storyline wise, I'd be behind it. But it made no sense.
Yeah, I want to make it short and simple. I'm just gonna say Undisputed Era. Undisputed Era, and I say it because there's claims, there's sources that have been telling that NXT is going to be featured as the main brand as of now because of the war with AEW. Everybody, the WWE officials, everybody behind the scenes, they want to consider NXT as their main brand. They're going to feature it like so. So I feel that out of the three teams, of course, Undisputed Era is the best team. I would say with the Viking Raiders, there's might be a little bit of a fight. But to me, I want to say Undisputed Era.
And the only thing I would just want to say before I let Ryan take over, I feel like a lot of these triple threat matches is good because you can protect somebody. In the sense where how you said NXT is going to be the main brand, but they just went through a War Games match and got their ass beaten most likely. I still think that the heels are going to win in that War Games, but they got beat up. So then you could have it where they're more sneaky and hiding, and then the New Day is the one who takes the pin. and you can still have the NXT guys look strong just because you didn't lose. You weren't the one who took the pin. So that's kind of that's how I think they're going to protect NXT in a lot of these matches that NXT doesn't win. But Ryan, who are you going with?
And why? Here's why.
I have a very sneaky suspicion about this match too.
Oh no.
Okay. New Day.
Ryan is about his sneakiness.
No, my heart.
Okay. I know how bullshit Vince is. New Day was put into it. Okay, and Juan brought this up earlier about Fox. And I know Fox wants, to be promoted. They want to be a big brand. They want to win matches. So this is a match I think they could win simply because, okay, the Undisputed Era fights the night before. They're already beaten down a little bit. They can take the pinfall because of that. New Day pins the Undisputed Era, and the Viking Raiders don't look weak.
If New Day, to go on your point, if New Day wins, that's how it needs to go. The Viking Raiders, no matter who wins, the Viking Raiders cannot be pinned.
Yeah.
They were eliminated in that bullshit tag team, greatest in the world, whatever.
And the crown jewel, yes.
But that to me, that was a house show. That doesn't count storyline wise.
Glorified house show, yeah.
That doesn't count storyline. So to me, they're undefeated and all that. You need to keep that going. So.
Oh yeah. So Ryan, your point, you're saying New Day, they win.
Yes, but I'm going to be crying when they do.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's like that's the thing. It's like they have so much to pull from. It's like Fox this, or we want about NXT's going against AEW. So who you favor here? The one that, to me, should not win any matches is Monday Night Raw because it's awful. It's just terrible. They should be the Smackdown of matches.
They're the only ones. To me, this is the only match that Raw should win.
Yeah.
Because this is the team you need to protect the most. Because Undisputed Era is everyone loves them. To me, a loss wouldn't hurt them, especially if they won the night before. But
it is true.
Yeah.
It is
Moving on,
Mr. Weber.
Okay, we have mid-card champions AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Roderick Strong in their triple threat match.
All right, then, John Paul.
I am going. This is my opinion on it. Going into it, I didn't know who was going to win. I love all these guys. I could watch these guys wrestle for an hour in a triple threat match, and I love every second of it.
But you will get 15 minutes.
Last night, Sami Zayn has a bag. He opens it up, reveals, in my opinion, and I want to know Ryan's because he likes the old school as well as I do, especially the old school belts. I love this new design of the belt because I feel you need to be modern. You see how cool and intricate the AEW belts look. You needed to do something modern. This has a lot of round, circles designs, sharp edges, all this really cool. The belt looks legit. It doesn't look like the old IC belt, so you have the old people and they're bitching and complaining, saying the belt looks like trash. But to me, I think the belt looks cool. You're not going to show off a new belt and then have Shinsuke lose. So I'm going to say Shinsuke wins here. That's my prediction. Because why would you debut a new belt to just make him lose, especially a belt like that?
That's true. Ryan?
I absolutely agree with him, right? 100%. And I actually did like the title. To me, I am more of a fan of the old school, but you have to take into consideration the fans of today, who a lot of them are casuals. And to me, it had sort of a modern look, but somewhat of an old school look as well. So I did like the outlook and design of the title. So, and to me, you're not going to just give this guy, a new title design and a new belt, as you're going into this pay-per-view. To me, that's a show of respect to him. And to me, he's going to come out of this as the winner.
I in this one, I feel the three of us are going to agree. I was going to go along the same lines. I was going to go like I did love the new design. Is still, again, like I've been asking, it's gold. And also, like, the strap is black. It reminds me of old school titles. It looks, prestigious. And to me, he isn't a guy that, like, he's very prestigious. Nakamura is legit. who is a hell of a wrestler. Of course, he's been held back because of like his inability of knowing the language and everything. But now that he has Sami Zayn, I think he's going to play a factor into the match, and he's going to win. Because to me, AJ Styles, yeah, he holds the USA, the US Championship and everything, but he's more like a main event player for me. If you put him in the mid card, he doesn't do much. He gets lost in the shuffle. And Roderick Strong, he's a hell of a wrestler, but as a singles guy, I don't think he has enough personality to pull out anything without the Undisputed Era.
Oh yeah, the Undisputed Era definitely, like, they bump him up for just like his promo work and his character in the ring. He's one of the best ever. At least in NXT, yeah. But like on his own, he definitely benefits from being with them.
But he benefits out of the four of them. He benefits the most out of being in Undisputed Era.
Well, yeah, because you're not gonna split up, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. They're kind of stuck together as the
And
head.
actually, I will tell you that Roderick Strong takes the pin. Because now I'm gonna go with the point that Ryan was saying, and you guys also you said it, Jean Paul. Is like these guys are gonna be beat out from War Games,
and the only thing
is gonna be halfway, so they're gonna take the pin easy.
The only thing I will say is, I don't know if before we go to the next match, this isn't just for this match, but all of them in general. If people are wrestling double duties, do you think there's a chance that any of these matches could go from a triple threat to a one-on-one? Storyline wise, they might go, oh, this guy got beat up so bad, now it's just one-on-one.
It might be. And this is the stuff that I mentioned to you guys, and the video is going to be in our channel also, the previews and prediction for War Games. I said, like, what happens if one of them gets injured? Mm-hmm. This is the thing that, like, you book these multi-man matches. I know that, like, Ryan brought up a good point. It's like to give the other ones the load is not going to be as heavy when it's a singles match. That's why you put the other guy there. But what happens if one of them gets injured really bad? Then you're going to have to switch that up.
So, moving on, the next match.
All right, the next match we have women's champions Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Shayna Baszler.
Start us off, Ryan.
For me, I'm going with the upset here. I don't think Bayley is taken into consideration much. And I'm going to go with Bayley with kind of a fluke victory.
I think we're all going to be the same here, because we all picked, and this is where I said, where you said about SmackDown wanting wins, I think this is where the train is going to start. Shinsuke's going to win, and I also think Bayley's going to win, because, like we said, Bayley, how I said in NXT, when she attacked Shayna Baszler on NXT, she used her old finisher from when she was on the Indies. So I think, and not much attention was brought to that, so I think she's going to debut that tonight. She's going to get the pin on, she's going to use it. Who is she going to pin? That's the whole question, because I don't know if it's Shayna Baszler or Becky Lynch. To me, both of the women are untouchable, but Becky has already lost. So has Shayna, but it's been a while. We've recently seen Becky lose, so I think Becky's the one who takes the pin, but I agree with you. I think it's going to be Bayley who gets the win.
Yeah, like if you guys said it, I think we're agreeing on this one too. So it's 2 out of all the matches. I think that Bayley is the underdog here, is the girl that nobody's picking, is the dark horse. Mm-hmm. So I feel that she's gonna get the win. Like Ryan says, like a heelish tactics. That's how she's gonna like. And I do think that Becky Lynch should be the one getting the pin, because that you're humanizing a little bit Becky Lynch. Mm-hmm. She needs to get some loses. Like, to be a champion, you don't need to win all the time. You can lose every now and then too, but it depends on how you lose. For example, like you have that other factor in Shayna. Shayna might be the one causing, Becky to get the pin. So you don't know.
And how do you know? It could be something where Shayna has Becky, in the Karafuda clutch or whatever it is, and could be holding her there for how long. Bayley, throws Shayna off, hits Becky for the pin. That's like Becky was eating 2 finishers. So that's, you're expected to lose from that. As long as she doesn't lose in a bullshit way, you're still going to look strong. You're not going to lose the belt. And like you said, it humanizes her, which I think, not that she needs it, because I'm still a fan of Becky Lynch and I don't think you need to knock her down. I think she's good where she's at. But Bayley's the woman who, if Bayley loses, she'll suffer the most. The other 2 won't suffer if they lose.
And also, like, Bayley, wouldn't you guys think that, like, if Bayley winning, that actually elevates Bayley even more?
Oh, yeah.
And that legitimizes her heel turn.
She benefits
that makes her a legit contender.
Mhm.
That actually, see, this win, they could do, out of the three of them, the one that like could use this to reach out to the even like a higher place, it will be Bailey.
Yep.
Yep.
Just because of the amount of momentum that she can gain. And she can always say, and she will start saying, first of all, he already said, I'm the first Grand Slam champion in the women's division, and now I beat up both of the other champions, so I'm the best of this whole division. So that I think that's the route that they should go to. So now I think we go from the main titles for the last part of the show. So what do we have now?
We have the Universal Championship with its new bullshit design.
You don't like that design because we haven't. You haven't said about anything about this. Do you like it or not?
I don't know. I'm not a fan of it.
This is what I will say, and I don't know, Ryan, then tell me what you feel off my opinion then, but it looks better in blue than in red, but you look at this beautiful IC title you just debuted. Why couldn't we get something like that as well? They should have, Bray Wyatt should have came out, boom, brand new belt. Then, like they did last night, give Shinsuke that belt like a week or two later, and then you have all these new belts. And then you can do the same thing on Raw. Maybe in a week or two, you give Brock Lesnar a new belt, or when we get into that match, who I think is going to win, Rey Mysterio, then he gets the new belt, and then, you know, AJ Styles can get a new belt, because I think the United States belt needs to change too. I don't like how it's all the flag. I think that should be a little smaller on it, and it should, I don't like the shape of the front plate and all that, but I just think it looks better. I think it looks better in blue.
Yep. Ryan, your thoughts?
For me, I am always a fan of just the black strap. That's why I did like the IC title belt was just the black strap. And to me, I hate both the Universal and WWE Championship because it's just a W.
Yep.
There's no creativity whatsoever. You know, I want to see, you know, some nice design work like they did in the past, you know, where you had different, you know, drawings and different things that they put into the belt, you know, some creativity, you know, instead of just, well, we're just going to put our logo here and
because all you're trying to promote is yourself and your company. You're not trying to promote the prestige of the actual belt.
Exactly.
You're just trying to promote your company. But so this match, Daniel Bryan and The Fiend.
Daniel Bryan. Yep. There you go, Ryan. Start us off also. Because you were who gets the win? Why? Do we have a title switching here or no?
For me, it's too early to switch the title since you just put it on The Fiend and now you have this brand new title as well. You could certainly do the switch, but to me, again, I'm not a fan that they changed Bryan back to a babyface. I liked his heel character, and you know, the whole switch was with the Roman Reigns thing and everything. And from what I understand and what I read, they're building up for a Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's
I did predict that, you know, in the review that you guys can see at SmackDown. I said they're warming the title up for Roman.
So
yeah, I feel like that's, to go along with that, I feel that's the big money match in their eyes. So the earliest the Fiend would lose it is WrestleMania against Roman, because Roman's probably going to win the Royal Rumble. So heads up, don't go to the Royal Rumble if you're not a fan of
heads
Roman.
Up, don't even watch the Royal Rumble. If that happens, we
Yeah, just watch Rope Break.
Yeah, just watch the review from Rope Break.
Down.
What's that?
Yeah.
I said instead of Seth Rollins, that fucking city's gonna be burning down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But with that all being said, you know, The Fiend, I don't like this build for this match. The Fiend, the way he came out last night, I feel it should have been the Bray Wyatt, Mr. Rogers looking Bray Wyatt. He should have came out to the top of the ramp and just waved, smiled, and then that should have been it. That's how the show should have went off the air. His music should have hit. It should have been, you know, the lights go out, everything like that. You think the Fiend's going to attack. Daniel Bryan's looking around all scared. And then it should have just been Bray Wyatt waving. I don't like the mandible claw 2 weeks in a row. To me, he's like a one-trick pony. He can only do one thing. He just mandible claw. The red light, which is probably going to be on during the match, I hate. I wish that would have died in Saudi Arabia. And
Should have died in Hell in a Cell.
honestly, but
Oh yeah, like don't do that gimmick. You know, it's a gimmicky match. It becomes every
what if they
single
did a
match like
blue
it has a
light?
gimmick match.
What if they, because he's on SmackDown, they did a blue light?
Now they
That
will
would
do a
be
blue light.
bullshit.
Yeah,
That would be bullshit. But
that would be really
I-
really crappy.
to me, I like this match was just booked. It didn't need to even be on the show because you could have given the time of this match. You could have divvied it up to other matches, made them longer, the ones that deserve it. But I feel like the Fiend's gonna win because that's just what the story. Like, why would you give it to Daniel Bryan? Why would you even have the Fiend win it?
What
Right?
was
So
the
I feel
point of putting take the title off
Yeah.
Rollins?
Daniel
It just,
Bryan is
please-
one of those guys where he can just add another checklist to the Fiend. Hopefully, they have a story lined up with Bryan. Unfortunately, I think he's still going to be going against The Miz, and that's going to be a story just to keep Bryan and The Miz on television because WWE loves both those guys. But I think you're probably going to pick the Fiend as well, Juan. I
Oh
don't
no,
see.
yeah, I'm just gonna make it short and sweet because you know my brothers, everybody would just want to like warm up for what's to come, and yeah, the Fiend. The Fiend wins because you won't take the title off Rollins after all the crying, after all the whining, after all the social media like stuff that like has been going around, after all the backlash that Hell in a Cell came about, and of course you did that on Crown Jewel because you needed some high point, something that people would say, oh yeah, go ahead and watch Crown Jewel because there was a title switch. Go do that. So no, there is no way that like the Fiend will lose this match. They put Daniel Bryan there just because he's enough of a contender to be against the Fiend.
Yeah.
But like you said, I don't really. I mean, I know why Ryan likes the mandible claw, but the fact that he just uses that, I don't really like that.
Oh,
I
don't
even
get
said
me-
that in my review. Why you just walk to it?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love the mandible claw, and Bray Wyatt does it good. You know, Mick Foley, who is God, he does it the best. And even if Bray Wyatt does it better, it don't matter because
Yeah,
Mick
yeah.
Foley's God.
I
But-
rather the suck. I always
Yeah.
say that.
But to me, like you just got like he's got to do something else, and to just keep doing it, that's like Seth Rollins' stomp. He does
Yeah,
the stomp
but
so many
don't you
times. It's
think-
like, dude, we don't
Guys,
care
don't
anymore.
you think, Ryan? Hear me out on this. Don't you think that you just walk to it? Can you throw a punch? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he walks, and if you see the video from SmackDown, he walks to it.
Yeah,
No,
it's
like,
it's
can
like
you
Daniel
punch?
Bryan was. It's like he was paralyzed with fear. But what do you're fighting this guy in like 2 days? What
In
are you
like
gonna
2
do?
days, wouldn't you
stand
just
there
be
and
jump the
stand
guy
there
or
and be
something?
scared
Like,
during your
like
match?
the sequence should be Sister Abigail, and then you hit that. It's kind of like going around the same line that we're saying Britt Baker when she applies the hole, and it's like close your mouth then.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like I agree for Ryan used to say, yeah, Mick Foley used to wait, and then he'll surprise you, and then he'll put the fingers
Yeah.
right there. But Ryan, you just see Brian just walking. And then getting right away. But yeah, the Fiend is absolutely keeping that belt. And Ryan already said the plan. To me, that's what they're going into. They're going for Big Dog, of course, the spear and done. We already can see that unless Phil Brooks comes back. Then I will say there's something different. But other than that, I can even see the WrestleMania match right there. Fiend against Roman, and Roman will become champion. And we go back to the Roman agenda. So I think after this match, what do we have? We know what's coming, but of course we want Ryan to introduce.
We have the WWE Championship match, Brock Lesnar, Rey Mysterio. Take it away, Ek.
I've heard reports that Lesnar, they don't know what his dates are after this. Now that could just be somebody blowing smoke up people's ass, just trying to get views and do this and that. I don't know how much I believe into that, but you have this stipulation, this no holds barred, and all this other stuff. It favors Mysterio. Could this be WWE's last attempt to be Rey Mysterio? Please don't leave. Don't go to AEW. And you think, why would you give him the belt? Like, what storyline purpose would that prove? But what storyline purpose does Brock Lesnar having the belt do? You know what I mean? Like, people, I think giving it to Rey Mysterio, people would pop. They would like it. You would definitely attract some Hispanic audience in because people are familiar with Rey Mysterio. And, people, Rey Mysterio's champion. Let me check this out. Because we've seen Brock as champion for so long, and, we're sick of it. Mysterio can have more believable matches with other guys, and he's willing to work. And Lesnar's only willing to work with certain people he wants. So with all this into consideration, I think And just personally, I would like to see Mysterio win. You know, you got people say he's old, he's washed up, his knees are, you know, blown out, they're made of dust, you know, whatever. I don't know. I'm just going with Mysterio. I feel the story's there, the emotion's there. I won't personally want to see him win, but, you know, I feel like I'm in a losing battle here, hoping he's going to win, but that's who I'm going with, Mysterio.
Ryan?
For me, I would not mind seeing Mysterio win. Personally, though, if that happens, I feel as though the Brock Lesnar character is dead. Simply because of how they're supposed to portray him on television and everything. If he's going to lose to somebody like Mysterio, you know, because in our eyes, I know this is supposed to be kind of like a squash match. And I know you said this is supposed to favor Mysterio now. I don't think putting it in a no DQ match is going to favor Mysterio per se. I think it's going to even the odds.
The only reason I say that is because do you think we see Cain Velasquez come out?
Maybe he does. But did he not? Did Lesnar not squash both of them when it was in Saudi Arabia?
I think Lesnar.
He kind of did. Well, Mysterio got the upper hand.
Yeah, because Lesnar was like unsure if he wanted to kind of go back in the ring, and Heyman was like, "No, we're out of here. We're going." And Lesnar kind of looked like, "Oh, like I want to fight him, but like I don't know. Like he just whooped my ass with that steel pipe. Like what do I do?" And then Heyman's like, "No, we're just going. We're out of here." So they kind of kept it like even, at least. In the sense, like you said, you know, he beat up Mysterio, he beat up his kid, and he was doing all this stuff, but then Mysterio attacks him with the lead pipe or whatever it is. So it could go, like you said, you know.
So for you, Ryan, your pick is Brock Lesnar then?
My pick, but I wasn't thinking actually that, because I think someone's getting involved. I actually was thinking Dominic was going to get involved.
See, there you go. There's two valid points. I really enjoy both.
If Dominic does get involved, I don't know how you want him to get involved, Ryan, but I would love to see him turn on Mysterio and side with Lesnar.
That will be really fun. That will be a really good
swerve
twist.
No one sees.
That will be a really good twist.
And then that's what I want. You build Mysterio and Dominic for WrestleMania. But you got to build it. You got not fucking whatever the next pay-per-view is in December.
Yeah. Oh, the TLC.
Yeah, you gotta build it long.
Yeah. But so Jean Paul picks Mysterio to win. You, Ryan?
I'm going with Lesnar.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Rey Mysterio, going along just because of X said the Hispanic audience. So I'm Hispanic, so of course I'm gonna go behind Rey Mysterio. And Ryan, you know this. I'm still pissed that the time that like Mysterio won the title on Monday Night Raw for 3 seconds, John Cena won the championship. So I'm still pissed off about that. So I feel that like Rey Mysterio needs to win the heavyweight championship on Raw, and I do think that make the match a no holds bar is gonna favor like Mysterio a little bit just because he's gonna be able to use weapons, you know, toys. You love toys. John Paul loves toys. I enjoy that. It's gonna make the match more violent. And if the reports that Lesnar has not announced any more dates, to me the easiest way out is just to put Mysterio winning the championship. Because I think out of all this whole WWE run that he's had, he's looking the best at this. You know, you see him more violent, going at it. You don't see the Mysterio that faced Batista at bragging rights, you know, the 09. When he's like, "Oh, no, Dave, don't do that, Dave. Please, Dave." You know, you see this guy, he knows he wants to go for it. He's going to try to his best to beat Lesnar. But I do feel that there might be interference for either of the guys that you mentioned to. Either Velasquez gets involved, and then because let's say Mysterio wins the championship, Velasquez gets involved, you have a reason from Brock Lesnar to come back by the Royal Rumble.
No, yeah, because then you could definitely...
And then you can set up a rematch, because that's what I thought. That's what I heard they were going to do, Lesnar against Cain Velasquez for WrestleMania. So you got right there is your path.
But to me, that match needs to be no title. The WWE Championship needs to... I doubt it will be on Mysterio come WrestleMania if he wins it. But whoever it's not on either of these two jokers, and this match isn't for the number one championship of your company. Because Brock Lesnar's legit when he wants to be. Cain Velasquez, I'm not sold on him at all yet. I'm not saying I won't be in the future, but for that to be a main title, if you have your two main titles, The Fiend and Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar and Cain Velasquez, this WrestleMania will be the worst one ever.
I mean, we always say that, but that's what the plans that's how they're trying.
So that to me, if you do that match, it needs to be like a Goldberg Brock Lesnar. You give them guys 10 minutes and not this squash match like Velasquez got squashed in Saudi Arabia. You let these two guys beat the hell out of each other. You let Velasquez do his lucha libre like he wants to, not work an MMA style. And you let these two contracting styles go out there, conflicting styles go out there and have a good match at WrestleMania. But there doesn't need to be a belt.
That was my prediction. I will, and if you ask me what do I want? Yeah, I do want to see Rey Mysterio being the champion. You're right, though. Like, Brock Lesnar's character will be dead, but you have time to build him up again. Because by the Royal Rumble, you have like a month. You don't see him. You don't know where he's at. Whatever. And then the Royal Rumble comes back. He comes back. And then you make him like the challenger once again.
And especially like Ryan said, if you got guys coming out, then that's a reason Brock Lesnar don't look weak. Because you had all these guys, beat him up. Because who's going to defend Brock Lesnar? Everybody hates him. Who's going to back him up? Paul Heyman?
Oh, yeah.
What's Paul Heyman going to do?
Or like if Dominic comes out, it will be cool because then you get, the feel-good moment. Hey, my son helped me out and now I'm the champion.
Mm-hmm. And
the
Dominic
only thing I have there is then Mysterio looks like a weak champion because he couldn't beat Lesnar by himself.
Well, but you know that. He's always going to look like a weak champion. He's always going to look...
because when has WWE, like you said, even though they give Mysterio title belts and Royal Rumble victories and all that, he's always portrayed as like, what does Michael Cole call him? The underdog or something?
The biggest little man. The biggest little man.
Yeah, there's some stupid fucking bullshit name, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but I hate it. The guy's not portrayed as like a legit guy. He is legit, and he is shown to be legit, but there's always that asterisk next to him. The biggest little guy, or, this and that. It's like, why can't you just
It's like a shorty G.
Yeah.
And you know, Ryan, like, they always like said, oh, yeah, we give you the title because of Eddie.
Yeah.
They will
That's
never tell you, like, oh, yeah, we give you the title because you thought that you were the guy. We gave you the title because Eddie passed away. That's what they always will say. We gave you the Rumble.
If I was him and they told me that, I'd take the belt and I would have thrown it in Vince or whoever's face that was, whoever made that decision, I would have threw the belt in their face and said, I'm out of here.
Because you remember, I felt legit when he won the title to The Miz. Remember, he wins the title, is good, and then, of course, right away, 3 seconds after that, John Cena comes out, oh, I would like to challenge you for a match. And, of course, he says yes. Why can you just say no? I'm beat up. I don't want to do it.
Because they want to make him, he's an underdog, he's a fighting champion, which
he never got a match. He never got a match after that for the championship.
Exactly. Well,
so, guys, I feel... Okay, just the last question so we can all go because we're all hungry here. So, guys, who out of the 3 brands, who ends up being the dominant brand when the Survivor Series is over and everything's all said and done? Ryan.
NXT.
Jean-Paul Eck.
I think it's going to be, I don't know how many matches there is, if you can divide it evenly by 3, but I think it's going to be an even split. I think SmackDown will get 2, NXT will get 2, and if there's 2 more, I think Raw will get them. There's only 5 matches where there's the triple threat option, then I think Raw only gets 1.
Okay.
But I think SmackDown and NXT are tied.
I say SmackDown. I say SmackDown's going to pull the upset just because of the Fox, and last year they got squashed.
The only way I'll give SmackDown the lead is if Ryan's prediction is true and New Day wins, then SmackDown is going to take it. But otherwise, if all my predictions come true, then I think it's going to be tie, at least with the blue and gold brand.
It can be. So anyway, guys, I want to thank everybody that is watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the pay-per-view. We're all going to be watching. We'll be back for a review of the Survivor Series also. I want to thank Ryan, Jean-Paul Egg, for being right here. And guys, we'll see you guys soon. We will have more content from you. Thanksgiving is around the corner, so have a great weekend, guys.